Hi, welcome back to Wallflowers. My name is Mary Ann, and today we're going to take a look at the carrot patch. Now, bearing in mind, these carrots were sown in a shallow raised bed which I've made out of a sleeping divan single bed, and it is on a patio. It's a flagged patio, so it literally is only growing in this depth. That's the only depth it's got. So we need to top them up because they're only half full, but we're going to pull the carrots today. The reason I've chosen today to pull them, there are different guides for different carrots, how long to pull them. Some are 55 days and then pull them, some are 90 days. Now, I haven't actually timed the days or anything, but one thing I did hear is next week we're expecting really good weather again, and somewhere along the line I've read that if you're at this stage expecting really hot weather again, that's the time to pull your carrots and get the next ones in for the next season, and then they will go right the way through, and you can actually leave them in the ground for over winter if you prefer, and just pull them if and when you need them. Other people store them, so basically the way we're storing on the pantry shelf at the moment with our jarred food, dehydrated food, you can also take a tub like this. This is basically some water out the water pot I've got ready to the carrots in straight away, knock some mud off them. But if you take a tub like that, and you store the carrots in them with a cheap bag of sand, put them in a dark place on the floor in the pantry, don't let any light get to them, then they'll take you right the way through the winter, and that's the best way to store your carrots. Apparently, I'm still trying to grasp canning carrots, and again, carrots is something that I'm hit and miss with at the moment. Some are going great and I'm able to store, and I'm still eating some from May last year, and some are just not passing muster basically. The water's not looking right, and when I open them they don't smell right, so there's something happening with some of my carrots. So I've been reading about a lady, and so basically we'll get the Bugs Bunny carrots, and rather than slice them as we do into pound coin size medallions, or whatever shape you need, battens, etc., she actually does them in thicker chunks, and she actually cans them that way, so there's less juice coming out the carrots, or anything like that, and then you can they're actually cooked when they come out of the canning process, and you just need to heat them up and use them and slice them to your requirements and shapes. But that's the next step I'm looking at. So some of these will be stored if I've got enough and they're okay, by canning. I'm not really sure what to expect on the shape and size of these. As I say, we haven't got a lot of depth here. I'm just in an urban setting, and I do this in my own backyard, and this is kind of like a front side garden. So I'm just doing the best I can, really. So we don't know if these are going to be stubbies or they're actually going to be slim full size carrots. Now, a short while ago, I started to see orange tops on the roots of the carrots, and I topped it up slightly with that's looking quite nice. I topped it up slightly with some compost and that. So the trick is, what I'm told, is not to pull up here, is to actually get to the crunch of your leaves to the top of your carrots and pull it up together. So as I say, that could be a stubby, or it could just be the way I'm growing carrots this year. But for the first one, I'm very pleased with that. So I can do a lot with that. So let's see how far we get. So that's the first one. Look, these are looking nice thick tops on them, but I don't know what sizes we'll get. Look again. So these might actually be the stubbies, but the nice stubbies, you know. Yeah, I'm thinking they are the stubbies, but yeah, it's going to be lovely. Oh, that weeders. Perfect. I mean, they literally could be full size, I don't know, because of the shallow space they've got, but I'm quite happy with that on where we're growing them.
Thick enough.
Thick enough, yeah. So I won't worry too much now about cleaning them up or anything. I just want to get them in the water and see what we've got. I'm wondering how many I should pick up, but I don't want to leave them. What do you think, Mr. Wallflowers? Should I just take them all and then re-sow the next patch? Again. Yeah. Oops, sorry. Looking great, aren't they?
Best we've ever done.
Yeah, we've never been great with carrots, have we? Shallow ground, so you don't need a massive garden. You don't need all the ground. You can use your tubs, you can use these, you know, single divan beds, you can use absolutely anything. You know, if you look, that's not watertight, it's not, you know, retaining an awful much. The water's just going to seep out, but you can evidently see it's working, you know, it's serving its purpose. It's providing food. You know, we don't know what state the world's going to come to. I keep saying this. And all these little nuggets providing a meal, especially if you can preserve them and keep them. You know, when you get a glut like this, you know, yeah, we can freeze them, but what happens when the electricity goes off? You've got to reset everything then before it defrosts, because you lose it all. You know, if even dehydrating, you can dehydrate on a car seat, a car front window ledge. You get yourself a metal tray, you dice up or you thinly slice your carrots and you put them on a metal tray in the front of the car or the back of the car where the sun's shining through. You know, that's literally dehydrating. You're exposing them to those temperatures and they're drying up and the moisture's leaving them. You know, you go back maybe a day later if you're not using the car or whatever, and you take your stuff that's dehydrated, just mix it up in a coffee grinder and bring it to a powder. You've got your carrots, then you can do that with potatoes, you can do that with anything that you've got a glut of. You can dehydrate it. If you haven't got a dehydrator, you can do it on a window ledge, you can do it in your car, just put it on a metal baking sheet and slice them up small and dehydrate them. You know, you'll have food. Oh, these are going to be lovely. I've still got a little, not much, of the dandelion honey I made earlier in the year. We've just been really greedy with it and we've used it for all kinds. But what we have been using it for lately is carrots. So basically we'll just put them in the pan and boil them as you normally would. When they're about ready, lose the majority of the water and just leave a bit of water and add 2 tablespoons of the dandelion honey. Just leave them again to seep through, let the water reduce and just pour it over the carrots. Beautiful, just honey coated carrots, absolutely gorgeous. Nice and sweet, not too sweet, just beautiful. Oh. have a little. And these carrot tops as well. Always keep your carrot tops. You can dehydrate them. You can add them as your herbs, etc. for your soups and your stews. You'll appreciate all the extra vitamins and minerals of them, especially in the winter time. All these coughs and colds going about. There's bits of all kinds of weeds and potatoes and everything in this bed, and this is actually my butternut squash towards the back. I don't know if you can get in with the wallflowers, but there's actually two fruits about to grow, I believe. I covered it earlier in the year with the milk bottle top, and it's grown out of it and survived. The other one's actually gone, and every other one I made is gone, so that one's quite happy. I'm just opening up this space. I'm not inviting the slugs to a feast tonight, and I'll use my butternut, but it'll be what it'll be. I need the carrots. So in the middle are going to be smaller anyway. Oh, it's a lovely little crop, isn't it? Not so little. Jumping out at me. So what would have been a little bit of dead space in the middle of my recycling garden is actually, you know, look at this for a crop. You know, I can't really complain at that, can I? A packet of seeds which I bought today in Wilco's for carrots was supposed to reach 75 pence. I bought a whole ream of them because they were on special offer, and when I looked at the receipt, the carrots were 15 pence. The is it Ailsa Grey? Onions, they were 10 pence each for the packet. That's a whole packet of onions, you know, that's a bed or two of onions, you know, that's a lot. Lots of other different things, some were different prices, some were 50 pence, some were 25, you know, but there are bargains on for 10 15 pence as well. If that's all you got, get out there, get a little something, cut the end off your leeks already. Throw the seeds from your peppers, dry them, keep them for next year. Any basic stuff that you're eating, if there's some way of you rejuvenating that and using it again, look at it and see what you can do with it and see what food you can create. It's important now because we are starting to notice rations in shops, and shops becoming a little bit emptier, not actually being rationed out, but becoming emptier, and those things not available on the shelves, or if they are, the price is a lot different than what they normally used to be, you know. So as much as you can provide and save them pennies, because the pennies do turn to pounds and they will look after you, but you've got to start looking after yourself first, and that means eating. That means what you're using on a daily basis. That means providing, nesting, squirreling away. We all like different things, sweet tooths, savoury tooths, this, that and the other. Get in the kitchen, see what we can create, save the money. Okay, I'm going to weed this. I'm going to see how I can protect the butternut squash, because I'm absolutely amazed how well that's doing, and I've never done a butternut squash before. I've got one of the plants tangled in it, which I'll cut back because I'd rather have the butternut at the minute. And looks like, you know, there's more fruit on it. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm going to weed it all out and put the next season's carrots in. So I know they're going to be stubbies again because of the depth. So I can put any carrots in really. And probably if I put normal carrots in, they'll be thicker than the normal stubby ones anyway. So it's probably the best bet to put normal carrots in. And then October, middle of October, we should have another set and then be able to put the winter ones in. So it's a win-win situation. I think I might pull these as well. There's a few potatoes and everything in between here, so it's just going to be a bonus whatever we get. Maybe they're underneath the soil, but we'll see. Okay, thank you for joining me today, and I hope you're growing something. I hope you appreciate and see my little bounty here. I might actually make a video and tell you how many of these I can actually can and, you know, meal wise what I'll do with it. I'll waffle on all day, don't let me. I'll see you soon. Bye.